Welcome to the 11th chapter of the book of Joshua. We now see the sons of Israel going in on the map here, taking all of these areas over in here. Now we have a northward expansion in chapter 11, Hazor. And Hazor, as you see, is up here, fairly far up. Damascus is over here, pretty close to the Lebanese-Syrian border today, if not in it. And it begins, and when Yavin, the Vasilevs, king of Assur, heard, Ekusen, acoustics, heard, he sent to Eovav, Vasilea Madon, the king of Madon. Now, where these different places are, it doesn't have them all on this map. And he sent also to the king of Someon, Shimron, and to King Aksaph, and to the kings of the places by the great Sidon, that's over here, unto the mountainous area, and that might be over in here, could be, unto the wilderness before Henaroth, which is Galilee. So the wilderness is right down in here, an escarpment, and the plain unto Naphador, which I don't know where that is, and to the ones on the coast over here, the Canaanites from the east, and to the ones of the coast, the Amorites, the Hittites, and Perizzites, and Jebusites in the mountain, and the Hivites in the mountain areas here. Hivites under Hermon. Mount Hermon is right there. Unto the land of Mizpah. And I'm not sure where Mizpah is here. And they came forth, they and their kings with them, a vast people, as the sand which is upon the edge of the Thalasis, the sea, thalactic is a derivative, in multitude, and Epi, horses, hippopotamus, a river horse, Epi, and very many armata, chariots, armor, comes from that word. All these words are in our English derivatives book. And all these Vasilis, kings, united, and came and camped together by the water of Merom. Now, a lot of people question this, where this is. I believe it is right down below Mount Meron, which is right about here. And this is where I believe the Transfiguration was. And it's where the temple will be built of Ezekiel in the last 10 chapters. The water will go down to the Lake of Galilee and then down and refresh the salt sea for people can fish with down here in fresh water. Meron sounds like it. And so these people came down from Hazor, which is fairly close, so you could see where they would come down here. And the Lord said to soon, Joshua, you should not phobethes, the phobia, again, fear, from their face, for tomorrow, at this hour, I will deliver all of them being put to flight before the sons of Israel. Their horses you shall hamstring, that is, injure them so they can't run, and their chariots you shall incinerate by fire. And Jesus came, and all the warrior people, you can add that English derivatives book, which you may have already done in the past few chapters. Polemics, it was a war of words. Polemistes, a warrior, with him, against them at the water of Merom suddenly. And they fell against them in the mountainous area, which would be over here where the Mount of Transfiguration was, where Jesus went up. And the Lord delivered them under the hands of Israel. In beating them, they pursued them unto the great Sidon. So the Sidon is up here. So I think then they ran up this way and headed on over headed to Sidon, and unto Misrephoth Maim, and unto the plains of Mizpah. And exactly where that is, I'm not sure. And they slew them until the not being left behind of them one surviving. So again, the wrath of God on these peoples who are idolaters and doing a lot of terrible things. And Jesus did to them insofar as the Lord gave charge to him. He hamstrung their horses, and he burned their chariots in fire. And Joshua returned in that time and overtook Hazor. So he was up here, so now he comes back down to Hazor. And her king he killed by the broadsword. And Hazor was formerly ruling all these kingdoms. And he killed everyone breathing in it by the mouth of the blade. And he utterly destroyed all, and there was not left behind in it one breathing. And Hazor they burned by fire. And all the cities of these kingdoms and all their kings Joshua took. And he did away with them by the mouth of the blade. And he utterly destroyed them, in which manner Moses, the servant of Kiriu, ordered. But all the cities, being fortified by a mound, of them Israel did not burn, except Joshua burned Hazor only. So other walled cities were left there. And all her spoils and the cattle, the sons of Israel despoiled for themselves. They took everything for themselves. And all of them they utterly destroyed by the mouth of the blade. Now you could say, well, why wouldn't they? Well, in the past, the Lord put those cities under anathema to be completely consumed, nothing to be taken by the sons of Israel. And he destroyed them. They did not leave behind of them one breathing, wiped them out. In which manner the Lord gave orders to Moses, to his servant. Likewise Moses gave charge to Esau, and thus Esau did. He did not violate anything of all of which Moses gave orders to him. So Moses did that, destroyed Hazor. Now it continues on further conquests. And Esau took all the land, the Gain, the mountainous area, and the whole land of Negev, and that's the Negev is down here, south, and all the land of Goshen, which I believe is over towards Egypt, and the plain, and the land towards the west, that would be over in here, the plain in the west, and the mountain of Israel, over here, all the way up, and the lowlands towards the mountain, and that could be over in here, I'm not sure, from Mount Alak, I'm not sure where Alak is, and the ascent into Seir, that would be down in here, Moab, Seir, far further south, unto Baal-Gad, and the plain of Lebanon up here unto Mount Hermon, over in there. That's where they took all of that. And he took all their kings and did away with them and killed them. And for many days Joshua made war against all these kings. And there was not a city which he did not deliver over to the sons of Israel, except the Hivite dwelling in Gibeon. And that's the ones that made a pact. So they still there and became woodcutters, water carriers. He took all by war, for it was by the Lord to become strong of their heart to meet for war against Israel. So the Lord put it upon this people's heart to come against Israel, and that they should be utterly destroyed, so that no mercy should be given to them, but that they should be utterly destroyed, in which manner the Lord told to Moses. So the key here is no mercy, but mercy. God didn't have mercy on these people, and I question, will God have mercy on us? We're sinners, and we've done a lot of terrible things, and maybe some of the things as bad as these people did, there when sons of Israel went into the land. But it mentions in the New Testament about mercy, and I thought I'd bring this out. And Jesus quotes Hosea 6:6, and it says, "But having gone, learn what it is said, mercy I want and not sacrifice." So it shows me here that even though God is telling the people this is what he wants them to do, that God wants mercy. He doesn't want to have to destroy everybody like he did here, but he will if he has to, or if he wants to, or figures out what, not figures out, but whatever he has planned. And then Mary mentions in Luke 1:50, and his mercy is for generations of generations to the ones who fear him. So the key of this mercy of God is fearing the Lord, fearing in Jesus Christ, because she's talking about the son that she will be bearing soon in Luke 1:50. And then she says again a little later, God took hold of Israel, his servant, now it could be Israel the person, for mercy to be remembered. So mercy was a key that Mary is bringing out, that Jesus would be for. And then Zacharias in Luke 1:77-78, the husband of Elizabeth, father of John the Immerser, says for him to give knowledge of deliverance to his people in the release of their sins, through feelings of compassion, of mercy, of our God, in which the rising from out of the height visited us. Jesus has visited the earth, come down from the heaven. And deliverance, he's the deliverer, and the deliverance of a release of sins, and the deliverance would be from this. God destroys the sinners. And so we are sinners, so this is what we are to expect, a complete annihilation of us because of our sin. And then in Romans 9:23, Paul says, though, and that he should make known the riches of his glory upon vessels of mercy, us, which he prepared beforehand for glory. And then Romans 11:30, for as also you at some time or other resisted persuasion to God, that is the ones that were believers at the time, but now you were shown mercy in the disobedience of these, the Jews. So also these, the Jews, now resist persuasion for your mercy, so you can receive mercy, that also they should be shown mercy. So God will have mercy on Israel in the future. And then in Titus 3:5, Paul says, not from out of works in righteousness which we did, but according to his mercy he delivered us. So it wasn't, Christ is the Joshua, the same name, Jesus. And as Joshua went through and destroyed all of these people, Christ has saved us from this destruction that would be from being sinners as these people were. And then in the book of Hebrews 4:16 it says, let us come forward then with confidence to the throne of favor, that we should receive mercy and should find favor by opportune help. When we need help and mercy, then we go to the throne of favor which Jesus is sitting upon. Then in James 2:13, James says, for judgment is merciless to the one not having mercy. And here it is right here. Judgment to the one not having mercy. These people are terrible. And mercy glories over judgment. To have the mercy that God gives us, the sinner, is a wonderful thing, and it glories over the judgment. And then 1 Peter 1:3-5 says, blessed is the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the one according to his great mercy regenerated us into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from out of dead ones. This is our mercy. Mercy was regenerated to us unto an inheritance incorruptible. This is what we will inherit, an incorruptibility, and undefiled and unfading. It won't stop, will be with him, being kept in the heavens for us. The New Jerusalem, cube coming down from out of heaven, which mentions in the last 2 chapters of the book of Revelation. We are the ones by power of God being guarded through belief, as long as we have the belief, unto deliverance prepared to be uncovered in the last time. So it will go on until the last time. And then it says in 11:21, and Jesus came in that time and utterly destroyed the Anakim from out of the mountainous area, from out of Hebron and from out of Debir and from Anab and from out of every mountain of Judah and from out of every mountain of Israel with their cities. And Joshua utterly destroyed them. He did not leave of the Anakim from the sons of Israel, but except for in Gaza and in Gath and in Ashdod some were left. Now who is he talking about, these Anakim? Well, made a little study here. They're called giants. It's all under giants, and the Greek word doesn't appear in the Hebrew. This is a Greek word, gigantes 1095.2. And first we have, these are all the same types of people, giants. The Nephilim, it mentions first in Genesis 6:4. And the giants, in Hebrews 53:03 with Strong's Concordance, the Nephilim were upon the earth in those days. And after that the sons of God entered continually to the daughters of men, and procreated to themselves. And these were the giants from the Eon, the renowned men. So I believe they were huge, giant people that were children of these called sons of God and the daughters of men. And then he says in Numbers 11:33, the same Nephilim, and there we saw the giants, and we were as locusts in the presence of them. Yes, even we were in the presence of them. And that's when the spies went into the Canaan. They saw these giants, and they're big. And the Enim, or the similar ones, they're calls, and it says in Deuteronomy 2:10 and 11, the Emim prior laid in wait upon it, that land up north, a great and populous nation, Ammon, and strong as the Anakim. So see, now the Anakim we'll get to. And these shall be considered of the Rephaim. So now we have the Rephaim, the Nephilim, Emim, the Rephaim, and the Anakim, all the same, they're giants. And as also the Anakim, the Ganakim, Hebrews 60:62, and the Moabites named them Emim. Now the Rephaim, and that is in Deuteronomy 2:20. It says, it shall be considered land of Rephaim. Now the Rephaim is the Hebrew 74:97. For even the Rephaim firmly dwelt upon it. And the Ammonites named them Zumin, a great and populous nation, and mightier than you, as also the Anakim. So see, it's relating it now here to the Anakim. Now Deuteronomy 31:11, it describes how big one was. For only Og, king of Bashan, was left from the Rephaim. Behold, his bed is a bed of iron. Behold, this is in the Acra of the sons of Ammon. 9 cubits was the length of it, and a cubit is 18 inches. And 4 cubits, so 18, 36, 6 foot wide was the breadth of it. So this man was big. Huge. 7, 8 feet, 9 feet tall. In the cubits of a man. So this is Og. It mentions the house of Rapha in 2 Samuel 21:15 22. And I'm not sure what I did with that. I have to find that. I'll put this on hold. Here it is, 21:15, I think it's 2 Samuel. And there was still war against the Philistines with Israel. And David went down and his servants with him and waged war with the Philistines, which is way down over in here, along the Mediterranean. And David grew faint. And Esav from Nob, who was among the progeny of one of the Rapha, that's the Raphim, and the weight of his spear was 300 shekel scale weight of brass, and he was being girded with a truncheon, even considered to strike David. And Abishai, son of Zeruiah, helped him, and he struck the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David, saying, You shall not come forth still with us into battle, that in no way the lamp of Israel should be extinguished. So they kept David out. And it came to pass after these things, war was still with the Philistines in Nob. Then Sivakeh struck the Hushathite, the one assembling of the descendants of the giants. So these giants were all over in that area. We'll find out one in particular, who he was soon. And there was still war with the Philistines in Nob. And the Bethlehemite, Elhanan, son of Jair-Oregim, the Bethlehemite, struck Goliath the Gittite. There's another Goliath. And the wood of his spear was as the beam of a loom of one weaving. So the Goliath was over here in Gath. And there was still war in Gath. And there was a man from out of Madon, and the fingers of his hands and the toes of his feet were 6 and 6, 24 in number. And indeed he was born to the Raphim. And he berated Israel, and Jonathan, son of Shemaiah, brother of David, struck him. So these 4 were born to descendants of the giants in Gath, to the house of Rapha. And they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his bondmen. So Joshua took all this land. He did not leave of the Anakim from the sons of Israel, but except for in Gaza. And that's down here exactly where in Gath, where Goliath was. And in Ashdod some were left. And Joshua took all the land as far as the Lord gave charge to Moses. And Esus gave them by inheritance to Israel, in their distribution according to their tribes, and the land rested from waging war. So now we go into the inheritance of the land. Who gets what? Chapter 12. Hope you'll join us. Till then, God bless.